Hi, I'm Lusty. I'm based at Raby Bay at Cleveland. I drive a Mosler, a Chev-powered sports car from America, although the race cars actually get made in England by Martin Short at World Centre. And this particular car was Martin's own car in 2009, and amongst other things he won the Dutch GT round and won at Brands Hatch. The car is made on a carbon fibre base with a carbon fibre shell, very good roll cage. It has a 7-litre Chev motor. It's a RHS aluminium block. It's coupled to a 6-speed Ulan gearbox and transaxle. It's sequential shift. It's air powered by compressor. Yeah. The car has endurance brakes, so the car was made originally for 12-hour and 24-hour racing. The pads, believe it or not, are 32mm thick on the front and 24mm on the back, and we don't have to change them very often. I looked at the category and I liked the R35s. I thought they were a tremendous car, and I was able to get it homologated to run in production sports, and yeah, it was a real weapon. But since then, quite a few Porsches have come along, and the Ginettas and some of the GT cars, so it's back in the field a bit, but it's still doing very well in 2B. Yeah, look, I started racing 50 years ago on Speedway, and then went off to off-road rally, and we rallied Monaro for a long time, but the dirt and the roughness of it got to me after a while, and in 1979 I purchased the ex-Brian Potts Tirana with a 308 Chev in it, and won the Victorian Sports Sedan Championship the first year we ran that. It was a very good car. Went on to drive the Celica with a 6-litre Chev, but in 1984 my brother and I purchased a Commodore off Peter Brock, and with a lot of help from Peter we competed at Bathurst in 84, and I think we finished 13th, but we were running as high as 10th. The tail shaft centre bearing gave way and we lost 16 minutes. But we continued to run in Group C for that year, and then we moved up through various Commodores, culminating in a VL Walkinshaw, and Alfredo Costanzo and I drove that in 1989, and we finished 14th at Bathurst. And I'd only ever gone to Bathurst to try and finish in the top 10. I knew I was never going to win it. But anyway, in 1991 I teamed up with Brian Sala, who was only 17 at the time, and we drove a Sierra. I think we were the only Sierra to finish that race, and we finished 10th. And so unfortunately, even though I wanted to finish 10th in a Commodore, we finished up running a Ford for 10th place. I think probably the favourite point in my racing career was, there's a couple of them, but running third in the Caltex 300 at Iron Park with Alfredo Costanzo was certainly a high point. And when we went to Sandown that year, Alfredo out-qualified Neil Crompton in the Holden Dilettante car, and I realised that we had a very good car. Recently, winning the 2B championship with the production sports car team in 2012 in the GTR R35 was certainly a high moment for me. By far, Bathurst still holds a lot of favouritism with me. I've probably done 1,700 laps around Bathurst in touring cars and production sports. It's just a shame that the endurance series at Easter seems to be getting a crash fest amongst some of the cars that don't go there very often. For instance, this last Easter, out of the 2 hours of racing, there were 16 laps. Sorry, 2 hours of racing, there was only 16 laps of actual racing. The rest was behind safety cars. Oh, look, I sat watching Brocky at the mountain for, I don't know, 9 or 10 years before we actually started participating in touring car racing. Brock was just a master, and I'll always take my hat off to him. But Alan Jones and some of those other guys were very, very good to be on the track with. Look, there was a lot of controversy when we started racing the faster cars amongst the MX-5 guys, but the MX-5 guys have learned that we want to keep our cars safe, we want to keep them safe. Most of them hold their line, and we have no trouble with them. In fact, we pass very cleanly. Yeah, look, unfortunately, the MX-5s will slowly drop in numbers, I think, although I see it as a great feeder or a great entry level for getting into production sports. But as small Porsches and GT cars become available, I think that will increase the field considerably. I've always loved the need for speed. I like the camaraderie from the fellow competitors, and at work there's 9 or 10 of us that sit around the table for lunch and smokers talking nothing but racing. Okay, well, I'd like to thank Ron Prefontaine and WellPro for sponsoring the series. QLD, my company, helps in a small way. Lubramax, who also sponsor me, they donate oil, and GLT donate a small amount of money for pole sitters in the 3 classes. My company primarily builds semi-trailers and sell them across Australia.